Hi, we are gonna go ahead and get started. I'm so very excited and happy that you have all chosen to join me and to the Awaken Living. It truly is just everything that I have come to understand. I have just poured into this course, and I'm very excited to share it with you and to walk alongside you as we take this journey together. And so, um, uh, let us do a little um, intention setting and just really bring awareness into the courage, the love that you hold for yourself to bring you into this space where you are answering or acknowledging that nudge that you have been feeling within you. And it's very easy to let the beliefs that we've accumulated through our lifetimes take over and say that it's just us, or um that it's not something that that everybody else is experiencing, or that it couldn't just be me because I'm just a normal person. I'm not like those people that you hear about or see about on TV, um, or on the podcast. But the truth is that that divine light is within us all, and in this course, the purpose is to come into that remembrance. And um, that is just a huge step, and to just allowing yourself to listen into the nudge. And so just take a second and give yourself a hug, pat on the back, a high five, whatever feels good to you. But truly is a beautiful thing. And thank you for joining me and trusting me to walk alongside you on this journey. And so today, um, we are going to discuss what is a spiritual awakening, and just kind of go through like what can cause it, the timings around them, like just how they play a part into our timelines. And indeed, if you are finding yourself here, you have already or are currently, um, or will relatively very soon be experiencing your own spiritual awakening, and understanding that there truly is just so much more. And so, let's get into this. My heart is truly, this is I never would have imagined that this is where the journey would have led me into being. I was very much uh held the belief that I was not one of those people that you see on the podcast or that you see on TV, or that, you know, I was just a normal human and maybe I could do this, but, a little in my closet, or a little, in the backyard, or then expanding to the neighbors or the grocery stores. And and it truly does just expand and bring us more into ourselves. And I just never would have thought that here I am, just teaching people, meeting people from all over the world, traveling, and taking different spiritual groups. It's just truly more than I could have imagined. And so thank you. Just one more time giving my gratitude and to where I am on my journey, and for you being here and beginning your journey or adding me into your journey. It's just thank you. So with that, let's talk about what spiritual awakening is as truly as just, long story short, it's a remembrance. It's not a becoming of anything else. It is other than more of you, but it is just a remembrance. It's not a destination. It's like waking up from the dream and knowing that you're still in the dream, but now you can create in the dream and you can experience the dream for what it is. It's and for what it's here for. And in doing these things, I can understand very much where people begin to say, well, what about the things that are awful and the people that are suffering around the world, and they don't sound like they're living their dream. They don't sound like that doesn't sound like a something that somebody would come to experience intentionally. And it is something that I was taught through my mentor, and something that I have found very, very true is when you think you know another's path, you'll always cause your own suffering. And to understand also, in my own personal experience and communications with spirit, is that we all do come into this life, into this incarnation, agreeing to experience and play certain roles. Those are built upon with free will as well, but there's no soul that will leave this earth or serve humanity in the way that some of them have, in the terms of these wars and bringing awareness just to what does not match us as a human race anymore vibrationally. And to, the polarity is sometimes has to be so much in your face or so great for an entire planet to just, and it is generationals, of trauma that the planet itself has experienced, and us as a human race. And so really just to shake it up and to say, this is not what we want, and those souls serving humanity and that way is truly the best thing that we can do, in my opinion, is to hold space for them and to be so thankful for the roles that they did come and agree to play, and hold space for them in this time, and know that they know who they are. They know who they are, and you must know who they are. And that is source energy focused into form, here to experience just ourselves and unique perspectives. And this is their experience. And so truly to just empower them in that experience. They're not powerless. Don't So don't try to take away their power. And with that, things like the shaking up of humanity that you see that these emotions can trigger are very much, even for people who may not entangle in the news, may not have social media, may not be aware of other events going on around the world on a global level. Every day, people are experiencing still life-altering events. These things can be the loss of a loved one, the loss of a pet, uh, a divorce, the loss of a job, just something that really just shakes you to your core and can just really feel like, oh my gosh, there's what is beyond, like, what is the meaning of all of this? Why am I experiencing all of this? And it truly, at some point, these things trigger us. And again, the same way that the world had experienced all of the trauma that had been stored within her for generations, so have you. And so sometimes those things have to be loud, like the loss of something that we couldn't imagine, so that we do reach beyond for something greater, for something within ourselves, for the power that we have always had, but we didn't always acknowledge. And truly, it is not something to bring shame about within yourself, to know that the power is always within you when you look back on certain situations, and knowing that certain things were happening within your life that you had created. And give me just a second, that you had created. And so in the same way that the earth had experience that our bodies do, and sometimes those things need to be louder to get our attentions, because we have turned so much outwardly that we're looking to fill validation voids or self-love voids. And perhaps we're not even trying to fill the void, we're just trying to numb the void, the acknowledgement of the void completely. And so ultimately, like, our attention is not here, and our ears and are plugged, but the conversation, the guidance, it is always still there. And so truly, it is in my experience, and many others experience, that these events do often shake us to our core, leading up to a spiritual awakening. Um, I did a reading for a mother once, and she had a young child on the other side, and she couldn't understand why this was something that she needed to go through. And the little girl had explained that her mom had loved her so very much. And her son, who was still living, was nonverbal and autistic. And she couldn't understand, like, why it went from perfect to just her experience of hell on earth overnight. And her daughter had said that when every day they woke up, they had pancakes, they did, they had outside time, they went and visited grandparents, and it was very much a beautiful life with a beautiful, mom and her two children. And it was just that. But the daughter said that, and that the mom would have never reached for more because her heart was just content with everything in front of her. And there's so much more for her to experience within herself because she was not loving herself. And there were underlying things going on, the mom, that she was able to discover and work through as well with the new understandings. But truly, the daughter was, just as I said, it's almost like there's got to be something worth reaching for. And then, especially when you think that you have it all in front of you already, and to know that, again, to honor that little girl's experience on this earth and her agreement and that mother's agreement is just truly it's a beautiful thing. When you're able to have that perspective and know that they're still here for us to experience, and in different form, but very much just as real, just as much loving. And so, on a collective scale, we can see that I'm sure many of you have heard of the Great Awakening, and in this, in this time, there are collectively more people waking up than ever before on this planet. There are collectively more people currently awake than ever before on this planet. And again, in that sense of the earth shaking off what no longer serves us, like as we were talking about earlier, and us also coming in and backing her up on that and saying what no longer serves us is no longer within our reality as well either. And so collectively, this is the time of the Great Awakening. And again, this is truly why at this time I believe that I was led to put together the course of everything that I have come to learn through my last 5 years over my journey, and truly just over a lifetime. But I just truly believe that because of the time, that humanity is reaching for more, is reaching through that veil, is knowing that, okay, we're done seeing with what's right in front of us. And we're done believing what we're hearing on the outside. We want to know what's on the inside. We want to know, how do we get in the inside? What is in the inside? Do we have does everybody have an inside? All these questions are kind of coming about now. And so truly, this is just why I believe I was led to build this course at this time and offer it. And so I am, again, thank you. And in the time of the Great Awakening, realizing that we do all have free will, and knowing that we have free will truly does allow us to be in our own peace, knowing that, again, we're not trying to take someone's power away and control the situation. I can understand that I have the free will and that I am at peace knowing that whatever decision that they make That is their free will and then their reality. And if it does not serve me and my reality and does not match the vibration that I hold, it will not continue to be in my reality. And knowing that you cannot experience what you're not the vibration of, and you cannot perceive what you're not the vibrational match to. It is, it's a very peaceful place to be. And so to truly just understand and allow people to be who they are, where they are, and just if you can't hold love for them in that moment and for yourself, you can hold space for yourself and just hold peace for them or hold peace for yourself by holding space for them and their opinion or their actions or whatever it is, and to know that it is their free will, whether they believe whatever it is that you believe, you're operating from your belief system. So this is what they, how they operate or their belief system, that would be for them to evaluate. But here, we're going to talk about us. And so I truly do believe it's the time of the Great Awakening and exciting things are happening. I, for one, am very, very, like my toes hit the ground and I'm like, what is happening now, universe? Like, show it to me. It's been great. Truly to experience these last few years from it's like with my eyes open and my heart open, and it's perception is a funny thing, you could ask somebody who may give you a very different opinion of how this, 2025 has been. They may not tell you the same thing I've told you, but that is perhaps, like uh it's a perception. We're clearly on the same planet, but we're drawing from different places, from different vibrational experiences. And that's what we're drawing to us and our perception of these things. Like if I were to step on a tack, that tack, I wouldn't pick up the tack and then start yelling at the tack. Oh, you're just awful, you dumb tack. Why were you there? Blah, blah, blah. No, the tack is just a tack. It just is. And in the same way that if I had this picture of me and my sister that I just wanted to hang, and it was the most beautiful picture, just looked everywhere and I couldn't find a tack, but I came across the tack and I just randomly came across on the floor. I would have been so grateful for that tack and that moment for the purpose that it was serving. And so truly it is a perception. How are we looking at this? Was that tack there to remind us, like, be mindful of of the path that we're walking, of where be mindful, and mindful and careful are very different and hold very different meanings. Being mindful for me is setting the intent to be aware, to be cautious, conscious, and to be careful is to be cautious and to be as if you're feeling the need to look out for something, and the looking out is never needed on our end, because we're creating we're creating scenarios that we draw to ourselves, and the looking out truly is happening on levels that we are not seeing with our physical eyes. And so just a beautiful beautiful thing. And so truly just allow people to be, they are having their guidance from behind, the scenes that we're not seeing with the physical eye. They don't need, like you don't have to walk around being caught like cautious of everyone and this and that. Just knowing that who you are and knowing who they are, that alone, that is the most powerful place that you can be, is knowing who you are. And so, and that also means that as we take this journey, you may want to just go and tell everybody something new, and also understanding that they may not they may not be where you are. They did not draw this experience to themselves. They did, but perhaps as you grow and embody, and the light within you begins shining brighter and brighter and brighter and more and further, that is perhaps like where the change for them comes in. It's not about you telling them, it's about you embodying it and them seeing it in real time. And it's so real and so physical that there's just no denying it, and so truly, uh, uh, the biggest platform that you have is your life. And so using that. And so, um, okay, let's see. All right, so I have here that if you are able to, we are going to do a little experiments, exercises. I'll guide it, and um, just to truly understand and expand our minds. Just turn out the noise for a moment. And if you can, close your eyes. And if you're not able to, you're not in a place where you can safely do that, that's okay. Just, try to clear your mind and focus in on, and listening and focusing on your heart truly. And just listening into what guidance it is that you're perceiving, or nudges, or um, what it is that your heart is pulling you to. And so, if we can, let's take a couple of deep breaths in. And now I want you to imagine that there's a little version of you, and there's a staircase that connects from your brain, and it spirals down and connects into your heart. And I want this you to take that staircase, and you go down and down and down, and you come to the bottom of the staircase, and there's the door. What does the door look like? Does the door have a handle? Does it just push open? You take a deep breath in, and you open the door. And as you open the door, the most beautiful, warm light comes through and covers your skin as you step into the door. The light is covering you. It is surrounding you, and you realize that this is you. This is home, and this is heaven. And in this place, you can truly just be and feel into all the light that is coming through, and holding your hand up even and seeing that the light that comes through is just illuminating the light within you in ways that you've never seen or experienced before. I want you to just sit here and be. And in this moment, in this place, when you are ready, try to reflect on any times that there were experiences or moments and nudges where you can look back and say, yeah, that was a nudge to my awakening. That was a wink from the other side. That was my angels leaving me that feather. Sit for a moment and just think. And when you've thought of a few places, I want you to think, in this place, I can draw from any place, from any experience, from all that is. This is all that is within me. What do I want? What do I want to expand into? And ask yourself these questions as you bask in the light that you are, in the love and in the peace. And in this place, you realize that it's truly always within you. This is not something that you went outside to achieve, to experience. You went within your heart. And in going within your heart, you know it is always available to you anytime, of any day. And when we, oh, it's almost like once you visit there, you just, it's to sit in the love and the peace. It's beautiful. And so I want you to take a few deep breaths and just come back and open your eyes when you're ready. And if you'd like, you can write it down or add it in the chat if you'd like. If you'd like, you can add those in the chat, whatever it was that you've got. And if not, then definitely save it for later and come back and reflect on. And even watching these replays later is truly beneficial in ways that they will build on each other. But I tend to find that I always get a little more like something I missed or not missed, but it's just something that I firmly believe that we receive what we need in the time that we need it. And so um, just little tidbits that I did not catch before. Um, so, all right. Um, so I think that um, really also realizing that in the free will, we also came with our own sets of beliefs and our own coding, and that we may get to the same destination by different paths and different routes, and that's okay. It's not about forcing or efforting or controlling a situation into the outcome that you want. It's about allowing it to be and to expand all into all that it is so that you can experience it for its full potential, the same way that you would want to be experienced, in the same way that we're all truly desiring to be is authentically ourselves at full capacity. And so, yeah, next week, we will talk about what consciousness is, which is essentially, as you go through the awakening, you become aware of reality being consciousness of us being consciousness and truly just consciousness being uh, tied into everything that we do, every thought, every action, and so there's a lot of unconsciousness as well, and so but um oftentimes we find that we create and these creations that we don't even realize that we are creating, and we're creating from an unconscious place, but as conscious beings. And so we get to create from place of love and authenticity and high vibrational experiences, that also help raise the Earth's vibrational experiences. So it's a chain reaction. I'm very excited to be here with you guys. And if there's any questions that you have during the week, feel free to reach out through the email or through messages. And realizing that again, we're on this journey and we're here. There's no rush. There's no right or wrong. And to know that again in that heart space, that is always available. And I highly, highly, highly encourage you, if you can find 3 minutes, 5 minutes in your day to do that, take 3 deep breaths. The difference of setting the intention to do that, and truly, if you can begin your day that way or in the middle where you feel like this is the time where I want to reach for that piece the most, just truly whatever works for you, finding what works and fitting that in would be highly beneficial on this at this time as we go through this course together. It's a good practice, and it will also, as we move into the parts of channeling and mediumship, as we're going to connect, you're going to have that practice of being able to get into that place of your heart space much easier, much more with less effort and more ease. Um, and so just a few minutes, if you can, while you're brushing your teeth, while you're brushing your hair, just close your eyes um, and just don't do it while you're driving. And so I truly am excited for next week, and to build on that. And again, if you are watching this live, awesome. I see you, Jesse. And if you are getting the replay, then I um, really want to stress that it's important to watch all of the videos as they will build on each other. But ultimately, in doing this, there is a lot of shame and guilt and fear that I released along my journey. And I personally have a preference of wanting to teach people how to do these connections, but also having to teach, like having told them that it's not something that I don't want them thinking that all of a sudden they're talking to something scary or da da da, and drawing from these lower experiences. And so truly just building up and realizing that we are light and this is our experience and this is what we're drawing to. And so, just to be responsible with my energy and the way that I operate and the way that I guide. I do, even after my readings, offer and show, and everybody said yes, show them how to communicate with their own loved ones. And in this sense, a lot of times, a lot of healing and messages of healing come through in the reading. And then I will also even remind them that in doing so, like that they are that love that you feel in your heart. This is where we're going to connect. And so that same feeling that you were just able to experience, knowing and finding comfort that like I mean, just how there's nothing but joy and love there. It's just such a beautiful feeling. And so anyways, I'm going to say goodbye for this week and thank you for allowing me to be me and to guide you and to mm, join you on this journey of remembrance of who you are and who we all truly are and why we decided to come into form at this time in this place in these bodies with these families and so and these friends. Just exciting times, guys. So thank you, and I will see you next week, Saturday at 11 a.m. Bye.